sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Dardo19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mafex Medicom toy, the Dark Knight Trilogy, Al Ghul. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So we do get the basic style box when it comes to Mafex. So we do get the window right there in the front of the box. On the top does say the Dark Knight Trilogy, Mafex number 78. We do get a cool image of the figure on the top, and the bottom right there says Al Ghul action figure, Medicom toy, and DC. And then here's the bottom of the box with the barcode and blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. Then here's the top of the box, and it's upside down with an image of the figure. And then the one side, same thing as the top. Then the other side of the box does have the same image, but you can see the entire figure this time. Then the back, they show a bunch of cool poses you can get the figure into, along with all of the accessories pretty much. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure over to take a closer look at Al Ghul, who actually fooled me in Batman Begins, because I thought it was the other dude that was Al Ghul, but it was really Liam Neeson. Or maybe that guy was Al Ghul at first, and then since he died, Liam Neeson was next in line. I still don't know which one it is. And real quickly, before we continue with the review, just need to give a big shout out and thank you to toynewsi for sending me this figure to review. Be sure to check out toynewsi to be up to date with figure news and awesome other toy related topics and content. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look at Raz or Raish, whichever you would like to call it. I don't know which way is the proper way. They seem to call them both whenever I watch like an animated DC movie, but the head sculpt, I think, turned out pretty good. It does look like Liam Neeson. If you go close up to it, you see all the dots on it, which usually that happens with Mafex figures, but it doesn't really bother me too much. His goatee looks pretty good. Nice sculpt and paint on that. The eyes seem to be painted both looking in the same direction, and I think the hair turned out really nice. As you can see, they added the brown. There's a little bit of like a dark gray and like a whitish type color mixed all throughout it. And the paint's pretty clean where the hair color meets the skin tone. Looks like they missed a little bit behind the ear right there, but the sculpt of it turned out really nice, as you can see there. And then there is a little bit of a paint rub for me articulating the figure on the neck. And one thing I don't like about this is this piece of armor, it always goes off center, and the way the joint is at the waist, I don't know, it really irritates the hell out of me. So if you have OCD or something like that will probably irritate the hell out of you too. But I mean, the torso here looks pretty nice. The armor piece looks good. We got like straps that are holding it up right there. You can see the stitching along the edges of it, which look pretty cool. And there's the back with the sheath strapped in there, which looks dope. Very nice job on that piece there. And I feel like the joints are like offset. See what I mean? Like that's where the waist is and the torso's up here, but it's going on like an angle, so that really annoys the hell out of me. The shoulder pads look good. They are connected to the torso. So I feel like this might be, I don't remember when this came out. I'm guessing it's an older figure, because I believe Mafex is now connecting shoulder pads to the arms and putting them on a hinge. The arms here, we do get some nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout the sleeve of the shirt, and I love the gauntlets here. I love that paint that they chose too, and these are sharp, so be careful of that. And it has a pretty cool design on the gauntlets as well. And one issue I do have with this figure is I haven't had a break in a long time with a Mafex figure, and I don't know if you could tell, but we have a red wrist joint in there because his wrist joint did break on me fresh out of the packaging, and pretty disappointing. I haven't had, like I said, I haven't had a break with a Mafex figure in a while, and this dude, where the wrist joints connect into the hand, they wouldn't swivel, and I kept trying to get this one to swivel, and it just snapped the peg. And this one, I still can't get to swivel. It's I can't stand when that happens. That's not supposed to happen with a figure. The joint is supposed to swivel where it connects into the wrist there, because then you can't properly use the ball hinge wrist joint properly. I said properly twice there. So that is the biggest issue I do have with the figure. I experienced another break on a Mafex, but the plus side is I haven't had a break with a Mafex figure in over a year, well over a year. So that's good news, but it's also bad news, because I guess there's still some issues here and there with their figures. But The sash piece here looks pretty cool. I like the way the belt looks. It is a separate piece, and it's a very soft rubbery type plastic. Same with this piece and these pieces. And there's a bunch of slits in them, so it won't hinder the leg articulation too much. And then the pants here do get some nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout them. They even sculpted some wrinkles on the back of the knee joints right there. I like the way the pants look tucked into the boot. And the ninja boots look pretty cool too. I like how you can see the stitching around the edging of the armor right there, the straps on the back and everything. Very nice sculpt and paint on the feet there. And on the bottom of them, we do get a little bit of sculpt work. So overall, Mafex did a pretty good job when it comes to the detail, but I did experience that break, so definitely not too happy about that. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Ra's al Ghul is included with a few things. Usually we do get a few more things included with Mafex figures, but what we do get the Mafex stand, of course. So we do have the base, the arm, and the clamp, and it does have the basic Mafex stand articulation. So we do get that, and then we do get 2 interchangeable heads. And starting on the left, we do get a basic stern unmasked face, which is the face that does come on the figure out of the packaging that we already did take a look at, and I think they did capture the likeness of Liam Neeson pretty damn good on that face sculpt there. So we do get that one, and then on the right we do get the masked ninja face sculpt, which they also did a very nice job with the paint and sculpt detail. I like how the mask over the lower part of the face is more of like a glossier black, while the rest is more of a matte black, and it does have some sculpted wrinkles throughout the mask right there, which looks pretty cool. So we do get the 2 interchangeable heads, and it's very easy to swap those heads. I'll show you how to do that right now quickly. And swapping the heads is pretty basic when it comes to Mafex. So when you want to remove this one, just pull up and it'll pop right off the ball peg. Take the masked ninja head sculpt here and just pop this onto the joint, and then there you go. As simple as that to swap the heads. So we do get the 2 interchangeable head sculpts, and then we also get his ninja sword, and then we just get the handle of the sword, which pegs into the sheath, which I'll show you how to put that on in a second. And the handles are the exact same, as you can see right there, and it's just an all black ninja sword. Be careful where the blade attaches to the cross guard, because it could break off, but it does look like one of those short ninja swords that you see ninjas wielding, and it's easy to get this on the sheath. I'll show you how to do that right now quickly. And getting the sword in the gripping hand, you have to use a little bit of force, so just be careful when you do that. And the way you get the handle on the sheath is pretty basic. It just pegs right in there, so I'll just show you what that looks like quickly. And it doesn't matter which way you put that in, because the peg isn't shaped a specific way or anything like that. So we do get the sword and the sword handle, and then we finally get 8 alternate hands. Then starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging, and all the hands are fairly simple to swap out. Then we do get a pair of gripping hands, which are meant for him to grip onto the sword, of course. Then we do get a pair of open type hands, and then we do get a pair of hands, which I believe they're trying to have you recreate where Ra's is handing the sword to Bruce Wayne. So these hands are supposed to grip the sharp end of the blade like he's offering the sword to Bruce Wayne. But the issue with that is you can't even get his arms together close enough to have him grab the other end of the sword, because there's no bicep swivel, and the shoulder joint just doesn't allow enough movement for you to be able to do that. So these hands are kind of pointless with the figure here, but we do get some very nice sculpt and paint detail throughout all 8 hands. I like the armor on the top of the hands as well. That's where we get some pretty cool sculpt and paint work. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with Ra's al Ghul. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? For the height of Ra's al Ghul, to the very top of his head, it looks like he's a little bit over 6 inches and a quarter of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts, the Dark Knight Batman, and the Dark Knight Joker, and the Mafex, the Dark Knight Rises Bane, and the Dark Knight Harvey Dent Two-Face. And I think this Ra's scales really well with the other Mafex, the Dark Knight Trilogy figures, and he scales well with this Batman also. And then here he is compared to the Mezco 112 Silver Knight Batman, the SH Figuarts Suicide Squad Deadshot, the Mafex 2.0 Dark Knight Joker, and the Mafex Suicide Squad Joker. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Smoke, the SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and I do not like his articulation at all. Some points are good, but other points are just horrible on this figure, so I don't know what the hell happened with Mafex on this one. So we do get 2 joints at the neck, the upper neck joint. You can get Raish or Raz to look up about that much, which isn't too bad. It does look down a tiny bit with the upper neck, then you do get some really nice pivot there. And of course it does swivel. The lower neck here goes forward a tiny bit, goes back a lot better. So with both joints you can get them to look up a little bit more. In both joints you can pretty much get them to look directly down, so that is good. You do get a little bit of pivot at the lower neck, and then it does swivel as well. Be careful of paint rub though. Then the torso here, we do get a point of articulation at the torso somewhere under this armor, and then we do get a waist joint as well. But the armor, it is a softer rubbery type plastic, so it doesn't hinder the torso too much. As you can see, a little bit is pushing him back, but he goes forward about that much, goes back about that much. You do get great pivot there. Pivot's better going that way than to the right for some reason. And then it does swivel as well. The waist here goes forward and back a tiny bit, so with both joints he crunches forward that much, and both joints goes back about that much. You do get the pivot there, and this joint is offset or something. It's not supposed to be where it should be, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. And then we do get a swivel at the waist as well. Then the arms here, I'm not happy with how the arm articulation turned out. You do get a nice circular motion out of the arms, and there is no true bicep swivel, so you can't get his arms any closer to each other than that, which they give you an accessory, as I mentioned before, and you can't have him use that accessory properly because of the articulation with the arms here. You just get really bad arm movement. Well, mainly just because of the bicep swivel. You can't do certain poses with this figure, but the arms do go out to the sides a lot more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely good. They do go up and down. No bicep swivel. You will have to use it at the shoulder. We do have double jointed elbows that just barely hit a little over the 90 degrees, which is another issue too, because when you try to have him grab his sword in the back, it's a bit difficult to do, and his hand popped off. Gonna have to get that real quick, so hold on. And then for the wrists here, we do have a ball hinge, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth, but as I mentioned before, the joint is stuck where it connects into the arm right there, and you can't get it to swivel, so you can't do certain poses with the wrist because of that. Now the legs here, they do drop down a tiny bit. You can get them to kick forward 90 degrees. Goes to the back just a tiny bit. Let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it. He's a ninja, so he should be able to, and he cannot, he almost can actually, so pretty good leg movement with Raish or Raz here. Then we do get the hip swivel up there. We do have single jointed knees that just hit 90 degrees. Then the ankles are just absolute trash on this figure. They are so bad. They do swivel. They hinge up a tiny bit. Really don't hinge down at all, and then the pivot is the worst ankle pivot I've seen on a figure, man. This is so bad. What kind of ankle pivot is that for a ninja? What the heck? And then we do get a toe hinge that is stuck on my left foot, so I'll show you, or on my right foot, so I'll show you on the left foot. The toe hinge was pretty good though, but overall this Raz figure has good points of articulation in certain spots and really bad points of articulation in other spots, so you're not going to be able to get him in the best Raz or ninja like poses, but you can get him in some cool poses, and I'm going to show you some of those right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Mafex Batman Begins Ra's al Ghul. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it an even 7. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from toynewsi, and I believe he got it from Big Bad Toy Store, but you could also get your figures and collectibles from Agelessgeeks.com. If you can't find stuff on their website, I do recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. So we do get the window right there on the front of the box. On the top to see the Dark Knight Trilogy. So we do get the window right there on the front of the box. On the top to see the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rise. He's not from Dark Knight Rises, just the Dark Knight. The Mafex 2.0 Joker and the Chippy Choppa Chupa Chupa Show. And I do think they did capture the likeness of Liam Neeson. Liam? Did I call him Liam? It's Liam. Which do come on the figure out of the packaging. Then we do get a pair of Gripplings? I guess those are the names of new gripping hands, according to me. And the way you get the blade, whoops, that's the handle, not the blade. Where the hell did it go? Where the hell did that stupid hand go? I guess I'm gonna have to use another one, because I don't know where that one rolled off to.